And we'll zoom into this here shortly, but if you live in this part of southern Sarasota County, that's where you should take shelter now. All right, so we're going to take this full screen so I can get over and manipulate the maps here. So Sterling, if you go ahead and take that for me here, we'll zoom in here just a little bit and take a look at the, whoops, wrong way, sorry. So here we are with the storm activity here. And you can see, I'll take this to the now right here. So here we are with the peak of two strong areas of the thunderstorm right in through here and also just offshore. So we are down here in this area that is closer to Nokomis in the Venice area. It's kind of interesting that there's one very strong cell right here on the east side. Then there's a little bit of a empty spot, if you will, and then yet another strong area a little bit farther away. All right, we're going to take a look here. I'm manipulating my computer here, so give me just a moment. Taking the sweeping radar right here. So the strong thunderstorm cell here continues to develop. You're watching it update right now. And so we're going to, I'll put this in motion again for you. Oops. Okay, let me get back to it. We were all geared up for the 10 o'clock show when this hit here, so continue to make it live for you. Don't have any confirmed reports of the activity here of the storm. It's a water spout that was detected here by Titan radar. So it is continuing to push. It's actually moving east now at 40 miles per hour. So if we kind of extrapolate on that, I'll move that off just a little bit. And we extrapolate on that, since it's moving 40 miles per hour, that puts this whole cell moving here through Northport into around 10:05 now to 10:10, Port Charlotte 10:26, Harbor Heights 10:36. Now that's for that particular cell. I'll take that one off and go to the other one because we also have this particular cell. I'm going to zoom in on this one in Nokomis. This is the one that is also very strong, and this is more likely the one that gave rise to that tornado warning. So if we take that one and extrapolate that here, there's no cities per se showing up, but it does continue to push on just over I-75. And that is going to be a situation. If you know anybody who's on the road and they're driving toward this, either from the north or from the south, you might want to give them a call on a cell phone if you've got it and let them know they should avoid this area. Even with the heavy rains, this will not be a pleasant situation to drive on through. But with that water spout, then there's the circulation that is a likelihood as well in that tornadic situation with the water sport that was seen. So the areas that you should really take cover in are these areas here. I'll just widen out. Oh, here's a look. This is great. This is I-75 in that area we were just talking about. So that is I-75 here. Looks to be on the north side of, north of Northport and south of Sarasota, well south of Sarasota. So you can see the way the rain is coming down there. Look off on the right side, you can see all of the standing water there on the side of the road. And the cars have really slowed down. You know, it's really difficult to pick up any indication on a camera like this if there might be some rotation in those clouds. But nonetheless, that is a situation to avoid if at all possible for you here. And this is all part of the grand scheme of the thunderstorms as they're moving on through. I'm going to show you the computer projection of where all this is going to be going to here. So here we are, and I'm going to zoom it in just a little bit more if I can. I'm going to do that in a moment. But this is at 10:30. So this is still that cell that we were talking about right there near Venice. As I put it into motion from 10:30 on to 11, you can see the way that is quickly moving here south of Mayaca City. So this is that same thunderstorm cell that we were just talking about. So in an hour's time, it's here between Mayaca City and Arcadia, as it continues to move to the east at 40 miles per hour. There's really no way to indicate if there still may be rotation in it at that time. This tornado warning only stays in effect until 10:30, so we've got another 25 minutes with that. As we push it further in time here, by 11:30, these storms are moving all into Hardee County and DeSoto County and still lingering here near Port Charlotte. And there are still some very strong cells here at this time. We are in a marginal risk category. That's the lowest of the 5 categories of severe storms here for today. And this is the first indication we've had of any rotation. So we push it on through lunchtime. By lunchtime, this is all pretty much over and done with for us, and we will see skies clearing on out. But at the moment, we are continuing here with this tornado warning that is in effect here for these parts of the Suncoast. We'll zoom it on in, and this area that is just between Venice and Osprey, really between Nokomis and Osprey. This is the cell that is the one of greatest concern here. So we're in a situation here where we've had a number of strong storms coming through. Frequently we'll see more rotation right as these cells are coming on shore, coming off of the Gulf waters, and then later on as they're moving inland, they may not be as likely to continue that rotation. So when we get to the 10:30 time frame, or if this potentially is canceled early, which is not out of the question, but as we go through time and it gets further and further inland, there may be less of a chance of it continuing that rotation. But we won't know that until we see the way the systems actually continue to move. I'm going to just take this to now, and that cell we've been talking about here near Nokomis, it's weakened. It's already weakened a little bit. There is another cell that is just to the southeast of it a little bit, still just about to I-75. That is a strong cell right there as well, but there has been no indication whether or not there's rotation with that one at this point as well. So it's a situation with the thunderstorms. Strongest thunderstorms are down here to the south, on the south side of the Suncoast. I say that because you're here in Siesta Key, Sarasota. There's nothing happening. We've had the rain, and I use that past tense exactly on purpose. We've had the rain in these areas. You could hear the rain on the rooftop. It was kind of heavy from time to time. Also up here into Manatee County. It's done as far as the majority of Manatee County, and certainly for the island areas of Manatee County. There's none of this strong thunderstorm activity left. It is all in the southern parts of Sarasota County here, and pushing more and more to the east. You see it here in eastern Manatee County as well. So also heavy rains over State Road 72 here. I-75, this is really, can you bring up that shot again, the DOT cam of the rainfall, the way it's coming over I-75. That is probably the hardest hit area for the Suncoast right now, is where that heavy cell is. We'll zoom into it. It's coming up here. If you're just joining us, we've had a tornado warning that was issued, and it was issued more for this particular cell, which is weakened a little bit, but a waterspout had been detected. So tornado warning was issued. The tornado warning until 10:30 for this part of the Suncoast. It really does not affect Sarasota. It certainly does not affect you in Bradenton. But if you live down here, Nokomis, Venice. Okay, we've got cameras coming up here. All right, so here you can see Cool Today Park in the Northport area. And you see the rain coming down there. There's certainly no indication of any kind of of circulation in any of those clouds. But then you also have I-75 just in that area we were talking about, that area right here. This is not far from Jacaranda Boulevard where the exit is for that. And that's where some of the heaviest of the rain is. So you see that the cars are going slowly for good reason. They're going slowly because this is a downpour in that area, and it's going to continue to be a rough road there on I-75 for a good 15 more minutes right in that area. All of this pushing to the east gradually. We've been seeing the intensity of the cells weaken a little bit. The cell that prompted the tornado warning was this one just on the northeast side of Nokomis. It's weakened a little bit as it's come on shore, but there still are some other strong cells that you see right here. Here at 1010, this is right along. Oh, here we go. Here's the video of I-75 and Jacaranda Boulevard near where the exit is, and these cars are going faster than I would be going in this kind of scenario. So you know, if you know anybody who's driving toward this area from the north or from the south, call them on their cell phone, tell them take a different exit or just stop for a little while, pull off and get gas somewhere and let this one pass. I think that was just a truck. It wasn't an emergency vehicle. But the traffic has slowed down there without question, and that is because of this thunderstorm cell right here that is pushing into that area. All right, I'm going to put it into, I'm going to put it into motion again. And again, we were all set up for the 10 o'clock news when this got issued, so I'm using not our usual tools for severe weather conversations here, but the storms, you can see how fast they are moving. They are moving to the east at 40 miles per hour. So whatever you have right now is not going to be what you have in 10 or 15 minutes. The cells are continuing to weaken a little bit. I'll pause it here. The area around, I'll move in just a little bit more so you can see some of the street names here. So this is I-75. This is essentially what you're looking at there in the other camera. Here's I-75, and that's the Jacaranda Boulevard exit. And the cars have actually slowed down a little bit. One thing I can see is on the side of the road, there's a lot of ponding. You know, we've all been through this before, where you get so much heavy rain on the roads here, and so you drive through, if you're going too fast, you drive through that ponding and it just up through the bottom of your car and in through your wheel wells, and that can make it even more difficult to drive. And there's even a car that's pulled off to the side of the road there on the, I think that's the northbound side, kind of on the right of your screen. But they are going very, very slow at this point. So here we are. We've had an update on the radar right now. So this system, this storm cell, has moved much, much more to the east and a little bit to the northeast as well. So it's actually starting to pull away from I-75, which is a good thing. There still is more heavy rain farther down here to the south. The cell that prompted the tornado warning, that's weakened to some extent, and now we're dealing with this cell that's on the north side of I-75. So now we're getting into this area. This would be the most likely area where this strong cell is right here. That would be the most likely area for a water spout or a small funnel or even a brief tornado to touch down. This is well north. Okay, this is I-75 at Laurel Road. They were looking at the FDOT. Oh, I see it, the FDOT camera right here on the left side. The visibility is horrible. You can barely see the interstate. You can barely see the cars that are driving. The rain coming down so heavy in that area, and they are moving. It looks to me like they're moving more slowly on the left side, the one near Laurel Road, than they are on the right side, which is closer to Jacaranda Boulevard. And so here is Jacaranda Boulevard right here on the radar. That's the heavy cell that just came over. And so as that now is moving away, it is now at this point lightening up the rain for the Jacaranda Boulevard area and other parts of Venice. This is kind of getting into the Carlton Reserve area. So this is getting to be a pretty rural area. There are some developments here, and there's a golf course in the vicinity as well. Now you can see some of the roads in relation to that. So Maybury Carlton Parkway is up here to the north. Now we are in the Carlton Reserve area there, which is very rural. It's very, very rural, so there's not as much population, and the wildlife there, they're very used to the situation here with an extreme thunderstorm moving on through. So this is that Carlton Reserve area this is a good place for a thunderstorm this strong to be. This is also a major source of the water that we have here in Sarasota County as well. So that is where the prime activity is at the moment. I'm going to widen this out quite a bit more here and give you a look more at other parts of the Suncoast. So okay, and we just got word from Bob Harrigan. He was monitoring this, and he said the tornado warning has been canceled because these have weakened a little bit. So we are going to regroup here, and we'll come back in just a couple of minutes with our regular 10 o'clock newscast.